Most men don't lose women because they're unattractive. They lose them because they don't know how to read silence. Attraction is rarely spoken. It doesn't arrive as a confession or a clear signal. It shows itself in small, almost invisible moments, moments that disappear the instant you rush them. A look that lasts a second too long. A conversation that refuses to end. A laugh that slips out before control returns. These are not accidents. But here's the problem. Men trained to chase are terrible observers. They talk when they should watch. They act when they should wait. And in doing so, they step over the very signals that were meant for them. Stoic love teaches a different approach. Instead of forcing clarity, you develop stillness. Instead of seeking validation, you build presence. In this video, I'm not going to give you tricks. I'm going to show you 8 quiet green lights. Signs that appear only when a woman feels drawn to you, and only remain visible to the man who knows how to stay calm enough to see them. Listen closely. The signs are already there. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where every story and lesson about love will help you find the answer. Today, we will explore a new perspective through the topic 8 ways to recognize a woman who really likes you, reading the green light signals. These are real-life experiences and profound lessons that will change the way you perceive love. Follow me, because the most surprising and interesting things are still waiting for you ahead. Before starting, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax your mind. Let the sharing in this video help you feel more fully and enjoy every meaningful moment. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's begin. Number 1. Her eyes stay, even when she has a reason to look away. A woman who is merely polite will look at you when she has to. A woman who is interested will look at you when she doesn't need to. This difference seems small, but it is everything. In my younger years, I misunderstood attraction. I believed it was hidden in words, compliments, or flirtation. Experience taught me otherwise. Attraction begins before language. And the eyes are always the first to betray it. When a woman truly likes you, her eyes do not rush. They linger. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a movie scene stare. But in a way that feels unguarded. She looks at you a second longer than necessary. And when she looks away, she comes back. This is not coincidence. This is instinct. From a Stoic perspective, the eyes are honest because they are fast. The conscious mind needs time to lie. The eyes move before excuses can be invented. When a woman's gaze returns to you repeatedly, it means her attention is anchored, even when logic tells her it shouldn't be. Here is the key detail most men miss. It is not about intensity. It is about return. Anyone can hold eye contact for a moment. Confidence training teaches that. But only genuine interest creates the reflex to check again. Her eyes come back to confirm you are still there. Still present. Still relevant. You will notice it in group settings most clearly. She laughs at someone else's joke, then looks at you. She responds to another man, then checks your reaction. She enters a room, scans, and settles briefly on you. She is not seeking approval. She is seeking alignment. This is where Stoic discipline matters. A weak man rushes to reward this signal. He smiles too eagerly. He leans forward. He tries to lock it in. A Stoic man does nothing. He notices, and remains unchanged. Why? Because attraction deepens when it is met with calm, not hunger. When you meet her lingering gaze without flinching, without chasing, without breaking your frame, you send a powerful, unspoken message. I see you seeing me. And I am not moved. This steadiness is rare. And rarity increases value. One more important distinction. A woman who is nervous but interested will sometimes look away quickly, and then look back even faster. This is not rejection. This is self-regulation failing. Her mind says, be careful, but her attention says, stay. Do not punish this with pressure. Do not test it with interrogation. Simply allow it. Stoicism in love is not about emotional distance. It is about emotional self-command. You observe without attachment. You acknowledge without grasping. If her eyes keep returning to you across time, across days, across conversations, understand this. Interest that survives silence is real. Interest that survives restraint is strong. And if you ever wonder whether you imagined it, remember this Stoic rule. The mind lies. The body hesitates. The eyes reveal. This is the first green light. Not loud. Not dramatic. But unmistakable, to the man who has learned to watch without needing to act. Number 2. She creates reasons to stay, even when she could leave. A woman who is indifferent will exit cleanly. A woman who is interested will linger. Not because she has nothing to do, but because leaving feels like a loss. In my earlier years, I thought interest was loud. I believed it arrived through messages, emojis, obvious invitations. Time corrected me. Real interest is quieter. It hides behind excuses. She asks a follow-up question that isn't necessary. She reopens a topic that already ended. She replies when silence would have been easier. This is not accidental behavior. This is emotional gravity at work. From a Stoic point of view, attention is the most honest currency. People spend it where they feel alive. When a woman keeps investing attention without being asked, it means you have entered her inner dialogue. You are no longer external noise. Here is what inexperienced men misunderstand. They think she is just being nice. A Stoic man asks a better question. Is she conserving energy, or spending it? Because niceness is efficient. Interest is wasteful. Interest makes people talk longer than required. It makes them stay when logic says go. It makes them reach out without a clear objective. Watch her timing. She responds late at night, not to flirt, but to continue a conversation that could wait. She circles back days later with, I was thinking about what you said. She keeps you mentally open, unfinished. This is not strategy. This is attachment forming. And here is the crucial Stoic lesson. Do not rush to fill the space she creates. Most men panic when they feel interest. They answer too fast. They explain too much. They overdeliver clarity. In doing so, they kill the tension that drew her in. A Stoic man allows pauses. He does not punish her curiosity. But he does not reward it with neediness either. He replies fully, not urgently. Warm, not chasing. Present, not predictable. Why does this work? Because attraction grows in contrast. Her emotional investment meets your emotional stability. You must understand this deeply. Women do not fall for availability. They fall for presence without dependence. If she consistently finds reasons to keep the interaction alive, across different days, moods, and contexts, it means something important. You are no longer an option she reacts to. You are a thought she returns to. That is power. Stoicism teaches us to act without attachment to outcome. This applies perfectly here. You do not escalate prematurely. You do not interrogate her interest. You let her reveal herself through repetition. Interest that appears once is noise. Interest that repeats itself is truth. And repetition is exhausting unless it is fueled by desire. So when she stays, when she stretches conversations, reopens doors, resists endings, do not ask why. Simply note it. People do not linger where they feel nothing. This is the second green light. Quiet. Persistent. Visible only to the man who does not need reassurance. Love is not only about happy moments, but also about challenges that help us realize our inner strength. It is through difficulties that we learn patience, tolerance, and how to love without losing ourselves. This is also the reason why I share stories here, so that you can find calmness and wisdom in your journey of love. If you feel these words touch you, please take a second to click like to spread this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe with the notification bell, to always be the first to receive new shares. Don't forget to leave a comment below, share your feelings or a lesson you learned after listening to this story. Each line you share is a way for us to connect and accompany each other. Now, get ready, because the next part will bring you even deeper insights. Number 3. Her body turns toward you, before her words do. Words are negotiated. The body is not. One of the earliest lessons life teaches a man, if he is willing to watch instead of chase, is this: attraction reorganizes the body before it reorganizes speech. A woman may say nothing. She may even deny interest to herself. But her body will quietly betray the truth. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, her body begins to orient toward you. Not dramatically. Not consciously. It happens the way a compass finds north, without permission. Her shoulders angle in your direction. Her feet point toward you even when she speaks to others. Her torso leans slightly closer, as if distance itself feels unnecessary. This is not flirtation. This is comfort. Stoicism teaches us to trust patterns over promises. And the body is the most reliable pattern maker there is. People can fake words for hours. They cannot fake posture for long. Here is the critical distinction most men miss. Openness is not movement. Openness is direction. A woman who is merely polite may face you briefly, then drift away. A woman who is interested stays oriented, even when the environment gives her an excuse not to. Watch what happens in group situations. She laughs with everyone, but her body stays aligned with you. She addresses the group, but her feet remain pointed in your direction. She shifts seats, not randomly, but closer. This is unconscious prioritization. From a Stoic lens, this matters because the body moves toward what the mind values. Not what it approves of, but what it desires. Now, this is where discipline separates men. An uncentered man interprets this as an invitation to escalate aggressively. He invades space. He touches too soon. He mirrors without restraint. A Stoic man does something far more effective. He holds his position. He does not retreat, but he does not advance either. He allows her body to do the work. Why? Because attraction strengthens when initiative comes from her nervous system, not your tactics. If she leans in and you remain calm, grounded, unreactive, you create safety. And safety allows desire to deepen instead of collapse into defense. There is another subtle signal worth noticing. When a woman is attracted, her movements slow around you. She adjusts her posture. She settles instead of fidgeting. Her gestures become smoother, more deliberate. This is not shyness. This is regulation. Her body is signaling, I am comfortable here. And comfort is not given lightly. Stoicism reminds us not to rush conclusions. One moment of leaning means nothing. One step closer proves nothing. But consistency across time tells the truth. If her body repeatedly seeks alignment with yours, across different moods, environments, and days, then attraction is present whether she admits it or not. And if you ever doubt your interpretation, remember this rule. People turn away from what they feel neutral about. They turn toward what they feel drawn to. Your task is not to force closeness. Your task is to remain steady enough for her body to choose you again and again. This is quiet power. Not dominance. Not manipulation. But composure. This is the third green light. Unspoken. Reliable. Visible only to the man who understands that stillness is often more persuasive than motion. Number 4. She laughs before she thinks. Not because you're funny, but because she feels safe. Real laughter is not a reaction to humor. It is a release of tension. This took me years to understand. When a woman laughs out of politeness, it is brief, controlled, and timed. It arrives after the joke, as if approved by reason. But when a woman is attracted, laughter escapes her before logic intervenes. She laughs mid-sentence. She laughs at remarks that are barely jokes. Sometimes, she laughs and then realizes she has. This is not comedy. This is comfort expressing itself. From a Stoic perspective, emotions surface when the guard lowers. Laughter is one of the earliest signs that the nervous system has stopped scanning for threat. In your presence, she is not managing herself. She is being. That is rare. And rarity matters. Here is what experienced men notice. Her laughter is different with you. It lasts longer. It is louder, then suddenly softer. It comes with eye contact. Sometimes a brief downward glance afterward, as if she revealed too much. This is not performance. This is involuntary response. Attraction shifts the internal state from evaluation to enjoyment. She is no longer measuring you. She is sharing the moment with you. And laughter is the bridge. Now, the Stoic mistake to avoid. Do not chase the laugh. Many men sense this signal and immediately try to replicate it. They become louder, faster, more entertaining. In doing so, they turn presence into performance, and performance kills polarity. A Stoic man understands this. You are not the source of her laughter. You are the space in which it happens. Remain grounded. Do not react to her laughter as validation. Do not amplify yourself to earn more of it. Simply continue being unchanged. Why does this deepen attraction? Because emotional safety paired with emotional restraint creates contrast. She feels free, while you remain centered. This balance is magnetic. Another subtle indicator. She laughs even when the situation is neutral. There is no joke. No punchline. Just shared silence, and then a smile that turns into laughter. This is not about wit. This is about chemistry. And chemistry does not come from effort. It comes from alignment. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is offered and what is asked for. Laughter that arrives uninvited is an offering. Accept it without grasping. Over time, observe the pattern. If her laughter consistently appears in your presence, especially during calm, non-stimulating moments, it means she associates you with emotional ease. And emotional ease is the foundation of desire. Not excitement. Not drama. But relief. Remember this. A woman does not relax around a man she feels nothing for. And she does not laugh freely around a man she does not trust. This is the fourth green light. Soft. Revealing. A signal that the walls are lowering. Not because you pushed, but because you stood still. Number 5. She shares what she doesn't need to share. People speak to be heard. They reveal themselves only when they feel safe. This is one of the clearest signs of genuine interest, and one of the most misunderstood. When a woman begins to share details that do not advance the conversation, do not entertain you, and do not serve a social purpose, something important is happening. She is no longer managing impressions. She is opening territory. She talks about her family, not the surface version, but the complicated one. She mentions fears she usually keeps private. She tells you about moments she rarely explains, even to friends. This is not oversharing. This is selective trust. From a Stoic standpoint, trust is not built through persuasion. It is granted when the other person demonstrates emotional restraint. She senses that you do not rush to judge, fix, or exploit what is given. And so she gives more _ toggle more. Here is what experienced men notice. Her tone changes when she shares these things. It becomes slower. More deliberate. Less performative. She is not looking for advice. She is checking whether you can hold weight without reacting. This is where most men fail. They interrupt with solutions. They comfort too quickly. They turn her vulnerability into an opportunity to bond faster. A Stoic man does not do this. He listens, fully. He acknowledges, briefly. And he allows silence to exist without panic. Why does this matter? Because vulnerability offered without pressure becomes desire. Vulnerability met with urgency becomes regret. Stoicism teaches us that not every gift needs to be unwrapped immediately. Some things are given to test your capacity, not your affection. If she begins to reveal emotional history, past disappointments, former relationships, old wounds, and you remain composed, something subtle happens. Her nervous system relaxes further. Her trust deepens. Her attraction stabilizes. She begins to associate you not with excitement, but with emotional ground. And ground is where people want to stay. Another important distinction. She does not share these things with everyone. If you notice she becomes more guarded around others but opens around you, understand this, you have crossed from interesting into important. And importance is dangerous, which is why she moves carefully. Your role is not to accelerate the process. Your role is to remain unchanged by access. Do not ask probing questions. Do not demand more depth. Let her decide the pace. Stoicism in love means understanding that intimacy grows best when it is not pursued, but allowed. And if you wonder whether her sharing means interest or merely friendship, remember this rule. Women share to connect. They choose who to connect with based on how safe they feel being seen. If she consistently chooses you as a container for her inner world, without expectation, without pressure, you are no longer just present in her life. You are integrated. This is the fifth green light. Quiet. Weighty. In love, sometimes silence is the answer. It gives us time to listen to ourselves and understand the other person's heart better. That's also the reason I share stories on this channel, so that you have a pause, a peaceful space to reflect. If you find this meaningful, please click like and don't forget to subscribe, so that we can continue to accompany each other on the journey to find a peaceful and profound love. Now, let's continue the rest with me. Number 6. She touches you, by accident, and doesn't apologize. Physical contact is never random. Only unacknowledged. When a woman is not interested, her body protects its borders. Touch is avoided, brief, or followed by immediate correction. But when attraction is present, touch finds its way in, quietly, plausibly, deniably. Her fingers brush your hand when she laughs. She touches your arm to emphasize a point. She adjusts something on your jacket that didn't need adjusting. And then she does nothing about it. No apology. No retreat. No visible discomfort. This is not clumsiness. This is testing proximity. From a Stoic perspective, touch is a form of truth. Words can negotiate meaning. Touch communicates intention directly to the nervous system. It asks one question. Is this safe? Here is where many men sabotage themselves. They react. They tense. They lean in too fast. They return the touch immediately, trying to match energy. A Stoic man does not mirror impulsively. He allows the moment to exist. Why does this matter? Because attraction strengthens when initiative remains with her body, not your response. The absence of reaction is not rejection, it is composure. And composure is rare. Another detail worth noticing. The touch repeats. Once could be accidental. Twice is coincidence. 3 times is intention. If she consistently finds small, socially acceptable reasons to touch you, especially during moments of laughter or shared attention, understand this: her comfort with your physical presence is increasing. Comfort precedes desire. Desire does not precede comfort. Stoicism teaches us to respect boundaries without needing to announce respect. You do not comment on the touch. You do not escalate unless she escalates. You remain grounded, unchanged, present. And something subtle happens. She relaxes further. She stays closer longer. The distance between you stops being measured. This is how attraction transitions from emotional to physical without force. One more important observation. She does not apologize because she wants the touch to stand. An apology would create distance. Silence allows continuity. If she leaves her hand a second longer than necessary, or returns to the same point later, the signal is clear. But clarity demands discipline. Do not rush to make a move. Do not interpret this as permission to lead aggressively. Stoic love is not passive, but it is precise. You wait until the invitation is undeniable. Until the touch no longer needs an excuse. Remember this principle. Desire reveals itself through repetition, not boldness. If her body keeps crossing the same boundary, lightly, casually, repeatedly, attraction is present. Your strength lies in not exploiting it, but allowing it to deepen naturally. This is the 6th green light. Subtle. Physical. A signal felt more than seen, and respected by the man who understands that restraint creates space for longing. Number 7. She reacts to other women, even though she has no right to. Jealousy is not an emotion of ownership. It is an emotion of investment. When a woman feels nothing, she feels no disturbance. Other women do not register. They pass through her awareness like background noise. But when attraction exists, neutrality disappears. And something subtle takes its place. She asks about other women, casually, indirectly. She changes tone when another woman enters the conversation. She grows quieter, sharper, or oddly playful when you mention female attention. Not enough to accuse. Not enough to claim. Just enough to reveal. This is not insecurity. This is attachment trying to remain hidden. From a Stoic perspective, jealousy appears when the mind begins to protect a future that has not been agreed upon. She has not claimed you, but she has imagined you. That imagination creates tension. Here is the mistake many men make. They exploit it. They mention other women intentionally. They seek to provoke a reaction. They mistake emotional movement for control. A Stoic man does none of this. He does not feed jealousy. He observes it. Why? Because jealousy unprovoked is honest. Jealousy engineered is manipulation. Notice the signs. She asks questions she pretends are neutral. She listens more carefully than necessary. Her responses shorten, or her humor sharpens. Sometimes, she withdraws slightly, not to punish, but to protect herself from revealing too much. This matters because Stoicism teaches us to respect emotional signals without trying to capitalize on them. Her jealousy is not an invitation to dominate. It is a signal that emotional stakes exist. And emotional stakes mean attraction has crossed a threshold. Another subtle indicator. She becomes more present after the moment passes. She re-engages. She warms again. She re-establishes connection. This tells you something important: she does not want distance. She wants reassurance, but without asking for it. Your role is not to reassure verbally. Your role is to remain consistent. Calm. Unchanged. Grounded. Consistency is the antidote to jealousy. Stoic love understands this deeply. When a woman senses that you are centered, not chasing, not provoking, not performing, her emotional turbulence settles. And in that settling, attraction strengthens. Remember, a woman does not feel jealousy toward a man she has dismissed. She only guards what she values. If her emotions respond to perceived competition, even subtly, she is invested whether she admits it or not. Your power lies in restraint. You do not explain yourself unnecessarily. You do not seek to clarify. You let your steadiness speak. This is the seventh green light. Quiet. Emotional. A signal that her feelings have begun to protect something that has not yet been claimed. Number 8. She remembers the small things, long after they were useful. Memory is selective. The mind does not store everything. It stores what it values. When a woman remembers small, seemingly insignificant details about you, things you mentioned once, casually, without emphasis, attraction has already moved beneath the surface. She remembers how you take your coffee. She recalls a story you told weeks ago. She brings up a passing comment you assumed was forgotten. This is not coincidence. This is emotional tagging. From a Stoic perspective, attention determines memory. The brain conserves energy by discarding what does not matter. What remains is what has been quietly prioritized. Here is what experienced men understand. People do not remember details about those they feel neutral toward. They remember headlines, not footnotes. When she remembers the footnotes, it means you have been mentally revisited. Not once. Repeatedly. This is especially revealing when the memory serves no practical purpose. She brings it up without benefit. She gains nothing by remembering. She is not trying to impress. This is pure internalization. And this is where Stoic discipline matters most. Many men respond by over-explaining, filling in gaps, turning memory into validation. A Stoic man does the opposite. He acknowledges, simply. He does not inflate the moment. He does not reward memory with dependency. Why? Because attraction matures in silence, not celebration. Another subtle sign. She remembers how you felt, not just what you said. Your mood. Your hesitation. Your reaction to a moment long past. This indicates emotional empathy, not just attention. She has not only noticed you, she has processed you. And processing requires investment. Stoicism teaches us that the deepest bonds form when both people feel free. When she remembers without being asked, without being prompted, it means her attention returns to you when you are absent. Absence is the final test of attraction. If memory survives absence, interest is real. Remember this rule. Desire lives in the moments between interactions. Not during them. If she carries pieces of you forward, quietly, naturally, then you are no longer competing for her attention. You already have it. Your task is not to secure it. Your task is to remain worthy of it. Steady. Grounded. Unchanged by access. This is the 8th green light. The deepest one. The sign that you exist in her inner world, not as noise, but as presence. Conclusion. Attraction is rarely loud. It does not announce itself. It reveals itself in patterns, for the man who has learned to slow down and observe. The 8 signs you've just heard are not tricks. They are not techniques. They are natural responses that appear when a woman feels safe, seen, and emotionally engaged. None of them require chasing. None of them reward force. And that is the point. In Stoic love, the goal is not to extract certainty from another person. The goal is to become stable enough that certainty reveals itself without demand. A woman's eyes linger. Her attention stays. Her body turns toward you. She laughs without trying. She shares what she protects. She touches without apology. She reacts when competition appears. She remembers what had no reason to matter. Individually, these signals mean little. Together, repeated over time, they tell a clear story. The mistake most men make is urgency. They see one sign and rush to claim an outcome. In doing so, they interrupt the very process that creates desire. Stoicism teaches patience, not as passivity, but as strength under control. You do not interrogate interest. You do not demand clarity. You observe consistency. And when interest is real, it does not need to be forced into words. It moves closer on its own. It invests. It stays. If there is one principle to remember, it is this. Genuine attraction grows in calm environments. Only insecurity demands proof. Become the man who does not need signs, and you will begin to notice that they appear everywhere. Quietly. Naturally. Without being asked. That is Stoic love. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm so happy to share my lessons about love and relationships with you. I hope you learned something new and can apply it to your life. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for always accompanying and supporting me. Wish you a good day and don't forget to love yourself a lot.